commander has finally arrived, and this time it is Euron Greyjoy. With Euron now entering the game, the Greyjoy family grows even further, with Theon Greyjoy already present and another Greyjoy now stepping into battle. But Euron does not immediately look like just another standard spear damage commander. Instead, what makes him interesting is that he appears to combine direct damage, debuff utility, battlefield disruption, and support value in a way that could make him extremely important, not only for a main spear march, but especially for a second or third march. From his specialization alone, Euron already looks very solid. His army skill, Iron Fleet Might, deals damage equal to 200% of the troop's attack with a 15-second cooldown. That by itself is straightforward and useful, but the real importance lies in his passive bonuses. Praying Spears increases spearmen attack by 50%, Turtle Shell increases spearmen defense by 50%, and Rising Spears increases allied spearmen damage dealt by 8%. With a 3-star awakened Euron, you would get the original value times 1.6, meaning it would be much higher than shown. These are not flashy effects on their own, but they immediately show Euron's design direction. He is clearly built to strengthen spear formations in a complete way, offensively, defensively, and through extra overall damage output. Looking at his combat stats, he already gives a spear march a reliable baseline of stats and damage. Euron's commander skills focus on controlling and weakening the enemy. Horn of Dragon damages the enemy heroes in front of him and reduces their energy by 500, delaying their next ability. Drowned God's Curse reduces the target's damage dealt by 10% for 6 seconds, and can stack up to 6 times. When Euron attacks a cursed target, Black Sail Pressure gives him 30% additional critical hit rate and 60% critical damage. Finally, Deep Sea Nightmare prevents one random enemy from acting for 3 seconds at the start of battle. Together, these abilities allow Euron to disrupt enemy skill rotations, reduce their damage, and gain stronger critical attacks against weakened targets. Now we reach the most important part of Euron's design, his awakening skill, Black Sail Raid. Every time allied spearmen accumulate 25 weakness attacks, all enemy formations immediately lose 6% of their troops, up to a maximum of 2,000 in Dzendren. This is very different from a normal attack, defense, or health bonus. Euron instead rewards spear lineups that can apply weakness consistently throughout the battle, and would be a great fit with either Jaime or, preferably, Grey Worm. The wording says allied spearmen, which could make the effect particularly valuable when several spear formations contribute to the weakness count. The exact strength will depend on how quickly those 25 attacks can be accumulated in real battles. The second effect activates whenever an enemy formation leaves the battle. 40% of the weakness effects applied to that formation are transferred to the enemy formation with the lowest health, with a maximum weakness damage transfer of 200%. Normally, the accumulated pressure against a formation disappears when it leaves the battle. Euron allows part of that pressure to continue against the weakest remaining enemy. This could create a snowball effect. Once one formation is defeated or forced to leave, its weakness helps pressure the next vulnerable target. Euron's awakening therefore appears strongest in longer battles, where several enemy formations are gradually removed. Its value is not only in damaging one target, but in preserving and transferring weakness pressure across the enemy army. Euron's role changes when we look at his RTS abilities, for modes such as Siege of Winterfell and All-Out War. His active skill, Drowned God's Fury, costs 700 rage and has a 10-second cooldown. It increases the attack damage of allied troops inside the circular area by 100% for 5 seconds, affecting up to 3 targets. This is where Euron could become one of the strongest supporting commanders for a second or third march. Rather than only strengthening his own formation, he can increase the damage of several nearby allied marches. Your strongest march can lead the attack, while Euron follows behind and supports the surrounding formations. The effect only lasts 5 seconds, so positioning and timing will be important. However, the 10-second cooldown means it could create repeated damage windows during a longer fight. When Euron marches with the troops, he also increases spearman defense and health by 1,000%. Combined with his additional 240% spearman attack, defense, and health, this should make his march durable enough to remain near the main march and repeatedly activate its area buff. For Siege of Winterfell and all-out war, this may make Euron especially valuable as a second or third march commander. His purpose would not necessarily be to replace the leader of your strongest spear march, but to support several allied marches and improve the overall strength of your army. Euron Greyjoy may therefore be more than another spear commander. In RTS battles, he could become one of the most valuable support pieces behind a powerful spear account.